Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today I'm talking about 3 cheap UK stocks to buy. And what I mean by this is not cheap is in the share price, but cheap as in the historic value. So a lot of these stocks have sold off on quite a bit of a dip, and you might want to add them to the watch list. Some of you guys might actually really like them and might want to actually buy them into your portfolio. So yeah, I'm just suggesting 3 companies that you might want to look into. And last time I did this video series, it was actually really popular. I did it about 2 weeks ago, and I actually think it's like the 4th most viewed video on the channel. So I thought I'd do it again, and if there's a demand there guys, I'll do another one for you in maybe a couple of weeks time. So if you do like it guys, make sure you smash that like button so I know and I can carry on doing this sort of series. If you are new around here, it does bring in quite a few new subscribers to the channel, so make sure you do hit that red button if you are new around here to keep up to date. And if you want to know what stocks I'm buying them, when I'm buying them, my Patreon is in the link in the description below. I always post on there when I'm buying stocks, when I'm selling stocks. So if you want to keep up to date to what I'm doing, make sure you join there. And we'll take a look at these 3 stocks. So number 1 is a company I've actually not talked about on the channel before, which is called On the Beach. And this company basically is an online retailer of holidays. It kind of has some of its own transfers, but basically like airlines, it uses other airlines to compare like prices, flight times, and then obviously the hotel stays. So yeah, it's kind of like a bit of a comparison site as well, trying to find you the best time, best price really. And it's a company that's been around for quite a while, and also it's been on the stock market for quite a while. Obviously with it being a holiday company, it has been hurt just like everyone else in this sort of industry. And I think I do like this company. For me though, I own Dark Group, so that kind of is the reason why I actually haven't bought into this one. But historically, it's a company that's actually done quite well on the stock market. It has been on the stock market for a few years now. And obviously it dipped because of the COVID situation. Pre-COVID, it was somewhere in the £4 range, even at one point in January being about £4.90. Obviously lost a lot of its share price, but it has come back strong, and it's about in the £2.90 range right now. So it's still offering you a bit of a discount at these sort of prices. When you look into the growth of the company, historically it's a company that has grown its profit. It has grown its revenue as well. It has grown it at a decent percentage, especially its revenue side of it. But as expected, it is not going to be making money in this year, profit wise, but revenue as well also going to shrink. But after it is looking like this company will come back strong on the revenue and the profit front. The ticker symbol for this one is OTB. Financial wise, it's a company that's really increased its balance sheet over the last few years. Equity's risen on it. The debt has kind of come back and forth every so often. Obviously it probably have had to take that debt on because of the COVID situation, but like I say, balance sheet it's okay, not in a terrible situation. It has currently 17 million on cash, 30 million on debt, so the cash to debt could be a little bit better, but it's not awful. They're not running out of cash, and obviously as an online retailer, you don't have as many overheads as like actually operating the planes, for example. And one positive as well is on the 27th of May, you did have a lot of insiders buying into the company. All the sort of roles that you'd expect really, like the CEO buying into the company. So that's always a positive sign when a lot of the insiders were buying into the company. And also the founder and the CEO is one of the biggest shareholders in the company. And I think it's always good when the founder is still the person that's running the company as well. Number 2 is a company I've not talked about on the channel for a few weeks now. Probably actually a few months. But it's called the Gym Group, and the ticker symbol for this one is GYM, Gym. And obviously this company is starting to operate again. Obviously they went a few months without revenue, but it's starting to come back again. And I always get put off about talking about this company, because last time I talked about this company, someone actually thought I owned Gym Group and started complaining to me about the membership and not being able to cancel the membership. And I was like, I'm just making a video about the stock. So hopefully that guy doesn't come back again and start attacking me on the channel, because he thinks I actually own Gym Group. But yeah, Gym Group obviously is operating again. Obviously the closure of gyms really did affect the share price, but historically the share price has done okay. It has gone up. They've kind of, when you look at this company, why is the share price going to go up? It's because they're opening more and more gyms, and that's obviously going to increase the revenue and profit. They had a lot of plans to carry on opening gyms until COVID hit them, so we might see that slow down. But you look at the share price now, and it's not a bad opportunity. It was about £3 before COVID, dropped down to the £1 range, and it's been trading about £1.30ish to £1.50 recently. So like I say, it's still half the price what it was pre-COVID. So that's still you know, a pretty decent discount right there. The only reason why I've never owned Gym Group is because I own JD Sports, and obviously they own JD Gyms, so I kind of have a bit of a conflict of interest in this one. So that's why, but still, I've always said I don't think this is too bad of a company. You know, you look at revenue growth previously, very, very strong revenue growth. It's kind of increased revenue at like a 10% rate. Profit as well. Profit has kind of been a little bit flat, but at the same time, it's been putting a lot of money into opening more gyms, and that's shown on the revenue front. So I think I won't worry about the profit too much. It's making a lot of profit, which is the good thing. And like I say, I don't mind it when companies put it back into opening more and more gyms. On the balance sheet as well, the equity to debt's not too bad, 21%. I would like this company to have a little bit more cash. Probably one of the reasons why I invested into JD Sports over like the Gym Group. The cash kind of for me, I would like to have more into the 30 million range. It does have a lot of assets though, but the debt is 35 million. So like I say, cash to debt could be a bit stronger, but even so, a lot of physical assets, debt to equity is still decent. So not terrible, but could be a little bit better. One little negative that I have seen is that the founder did offload a lot of shares, 200,000 shares, which worked out about 300 grand, which obviously probably kept the price down a little bit. And they're still on the board, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe there's something I've missed, like the stepping away from the company or something, but I'd kind of hope someone like that in that situation was buying rather than selling. And the last one is Shell, and yeah, it's coming on a buy list. Normally I'm talking negative about this stock, but it's one of those where it's starting to come really to a point where it's like, this is really cheap. So the ticker symbol for this one is RDSB, and there's an RDSA and an RDSB. And if you are buying and you're from the UK, you probably want to be buying the B shares for tax purposes. That's kind of an error that every so often a couple of people do make. But yeah, Royal Dutch Shell, obviously the coronavirus, it's obviously hurt the amount of oil prices, and that's what I've always said about these companies, is this is why I don't actually buy into them, because they're kind of affected by a lot of external things in the world that can, you know, obviously hurt profits, for example. But there's a point where you're like, it's actually got to that cheap now where it's like, is it kind of worth a punt? I don't think it'll ever get to a point where I will want to buy Shell, but for some of you guys, I know you do like your oil stocks, and you might be looking at this one and thinking it might be a good opportunity to go buy into it. And this company kind of historically hasn't had amazing share price growth. Everyone's kind of been into this one for the dividend side of it. But the share price has gone from about £23 all the way down now to about £10. So it is kind of over half the value that it used to be. And I think when demand comes into, you know, the oil again, oil is needed, which will, obviously oil's still definitely going to be needed for a long time. The share price should come back on this one, and you know, even earnings, it hasn't grown profit that much over the last few years. Revenue's done okay, and the main focus is when it can get back to, you know, making sure that its dividend's back to where it was. Obviously it had to cut its dividend slightly, still paying a bit of a dividend, but obviously it had to cut it back a little bit, but still better than nothing, isn't it? Balance sheet wise, it's not been too bad. It's probably one of the better ones in this sort of industry. 47% debt to equity. On the balance sheet, it's still got 27 billion cash, 71 billion debt. So, you know, a company in these sort of industries never have historically have good balance sheets, and this is, you know, that always kind of puts me off this industry as well, is like how much debt there is on them balance sheets. But you want to kind of at least consider the balance sheet in this sort of industry, and Shell's one of those that does have one of the better balance sheets in this kind of oil industry. So guys, there's a 3 cheap UK stocks that you might want to add to your watch list, or for some of you guys, you might be looking into buy into them. And like I say, if you really do enjoy the series, let me know and I'll do another series or another episode in this series about another 3 UK cheap stocks you might want to look into. So guys, that's the video for today. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you in the next video.